Isekai, the land of one idea and one challenge for the author or mangaka. How to spin this genre and introduce the most out-of-pocket, ridiculous, unexpected, crazy and clearly bad core concept for a story and make it work. As a result, Isekai is the proud hoarder of the largest number of trash shows that anime has to offer, right alongside some of the most unique and creative stories ever told. And 2025 is no exception. We are Team Anime Facts and welcome to Number 10. From bureaucrats to villainous, that's been reincarnated. Imagine you're a pretty, wealthy, noble lady living her best life. One day you fall off your horse, hit your head, and suddenly remember that you're actually a 52-year-old male civil servant, and that you're in an otome game and you're the villainous to boot. Hence begins a tale of duality between the person our MC was before being reincarnated and the person she lived as before the accident in the game. By Studio Ajiado, famous for how not to summon a demon lord, it's an interesting take that parallels the actual role of the villainous and the true feelings of our MC as a father and parent. Now, the fact that it doesn't take itself too seriously makes it an enjoyable watch. Number 9. Welcome to Japan, Miss Elf. I'll say this, the main thing about our protagonist is that he loves going home from work on time more than getting promoted. 10 points for likability already. This one falls under both the Isekai reverse Isekai trope, as our protagonist Kazuhiro is able to travel between worlds by sleeping and is able to bring someone back if he dies or sleeps while holding them. So events lead to him bringing home an elf and she falls in love with Japan, kicking off a story of tourism and slice of life wholesomeness. And number 8. The daily life of a middle-aged online shopper in another world. Okay, so for this one I'll need your help. Go and watch the first minute of it and let us know in the comments if anything in those quick sequence of scenes make any chronological sense. But the important bit is he's reincarnated with what is essentially an online shopping ability and is able to bring modern innovations to a fantasy world. That's it. And from the first episode, I don't have high hopes for this one, but I hope I'm wrong. Number 7. Magic Maker, How to Create Magic in Another World. From Studio Dean, the makers of Konosuba, we have a Mushoku Tensei-esque show in the sense that our protagonist is young and a magic enthusiast that's been born into another world. Unfortunately, however, magic does not exist in this world. So he then sets out to create magic from scratch. This feels like a very intricately built narrative with a slow but well-thought progression. Emphasis on well-thought concerning his relationship with his sister and the implications of how he first acquires mana. I'll leave it at that. But remember, I said Mushoku Tensei-esque. I wasn't kidding. Number 6. I'm a nobleman on the brink of ruin, so I might as well try mastering magic. From the title, I'm sure it's obvious. This fits the most generic Isekai an Isekai can be. Reincarnated to a noble, he discovers that he has the affinity for magic, quickly becomes overpowered, you get the gist. There is, however, a looming family dynamic that keeps this carefree power fantasy Isekai just interesting enough to take you to the next episode. It started as a 2019 novel before eventually receiving a light novel and manga. If you're looking for a guilty pleasure anime, this is it. Number 5. Promise of Wizard. An adaptation of a Japan-only video game, Promise of Wizard has 2 manga under its belt, so the story has some mileage. A woman is chosen as a sage and summoned to another world by a group of wizards, all in the hopes of fighting a threat known as the Great Calamity. Although the popular studio Liden Films is behind this one, the first episode did not have a lot of buzz, and that's honestly because it was meh. Aside from being a reverse harem, the impression it left that it was something that could not have existed and I wouldn't care. Yes, this is me admitting that I haven't read the manga. And number 4. Someday I will be the greatest alchemist. A group of heroes are summoned to another world, but our main character, Takumi, was not one of them. He was actually caught up in the spell by accident, and now while in limbo, he meets a goddess who gives him a new body and powers, then is reincarnated. He aims to progress an alchemy build, and the first episode follows him as he discovers how magic works in this world. We then pan over for a bit to the heroes who were summoned. They are received by a noble lady with an ominous aura, giving us the first hint of something sinister going on. It is only towards the end of this episode that we learn Takumi was sent back in time a whole year before the heroes were summoned, making for quite an intriguing plot. Number 3. Headhunted to Another World, From Salaryman to Big Fool. Uchimura, a competent office worker who is underappreciated, is suddenly summoned to another world by the Demon Lord as one of his 4 top generals. However, he gets no OP abilities in this one and instead has to rely on his experience and expertise as a salaryman to negotiate and come up with new ideas within the Demon Lord's army. It's a refreshing concept, but the execution on first impression feels just a tad bit lacking. Nonetheless, it's worth a try. At number 2, we have The Red Ranger Becomes an Adventurer in Another World. From the fairly popular manga by Koyoshi Nakayoshi, the story follows Togo Asagaki, the Red Ranger, the Red Power Ranger, as he finds himself in another world, where he's already powerful. This kicks off a comedy-based, action-packed story that doesn't try to be too serious, but has interesting villains, characters, and a compelling enough plot that focuses on themes of sacrifice, friendship, and heroism. It's a refreshing mix of Sentai and Isekai. If it stays true to the manga, it's bound to be a fun watch. At number 1, we have Zenshu. Now, I know the year's just begun, but I can confidently say that this has the potential to be the best Isekai series of 2025. An original story by Studio Mappa, famous for everything, follows Natsuko, a genius animator and director who enjoyed immediate success with her first series. She finds herself struggling with writer's block while working on a second production. She then chokes and passes out, only to awaken in the world of a dark and depressing anime she watched as a kid. But now, with the power to change the story and regain a creative spark. This is a visual spectacle, with really cool transitions in art style to depict reality and media, followed by grounded characters who are immediately likable and seem well written. It has a lot going for it, and the fact that we don't know where the story is headed just keeps you coming back for the next episode. Definitely a must watch. That ends our list of 2025 winter isekai. Do you agree with our takes? Which ones have you watched, dropped, or are excited about? Let us know in the comments down below, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content coming your way.